Hi, welcome to Derek Does. Today we're going to talk about these. These are my LVCs, but these are the 1955 edition, the 55s as you would say. I got these, I don't know how long ago I got these. I've had a couple pairs of these. I think I've had 2 pairs of the 55s. I've had about all the LVCs throughout the years. From the 33s, the 37s, the 44s, which I just did a video and I'm currently wearing, the 47s, which I need to get a pair in my size again, and the 55s. I never went past the 55s. I never went with any of the zippered pants. And I've never had vintage Lees either. I haven't tried their line, but I've always done LVCs, I've done Levi's. This is my pair, my last pair of my 1955s that I have. From LVC. Unfortunately, they're too big for me now, and I can't wear them kind of like all my LVCs, except for my 44s, which I just purchased a while ago. Have a video on that. You can check that out. I'm kind of trying to build my Levi's back again. I might start making jeans again. I don't know. We'll see. I have a couple of machines I need to get for that. But I thought I'd talk about the LVC 55s and what they are. Kind of show you this pair that I've had for many years and worn them a lot. I probably got this pair, I'm thinking I purchased this back towards the beginning when LVC was making their stuff. I'm not positive. I'll see once I open this one up. I had another pair that I actually ordered from Arrow Leather in Scotland because they were one of the only places that I could find way back in the day that actually carried the LVC line. I think they still carry some of their stuff today, if LVC wants to send me a pair, you're welcome to do that. I'd be like a 32, 34, 36 length, 38 be fine. This particular pair is actually a 36, 36. I think my early pairs, actually I had 2 of them. Now that I remember, they were a 36, 40 back when LVC did a 40, and I had 2 pairs of those with the 40, and you get a really nice roll on those. But the 36s do a good roll too, and I'll show you that. I'm about a 34 length in that range, 32, 34 in the length, depending on the jean. But I like to also have a healthy roll when I roll my jeans, because what's the point of having salvage if you can't roll them? That's the whole point. But anyway, so let's take a look at this 1955 pair of LVCs, and hopefully as we go through it, we can figure out when it was made from LVC, and see if this is something that maybe you would want to get a pair, or if you're thinking about a pair, this might sway you or not sway you, depends. If you like this sort of content, please subscribe. This is Derek Does. We do a lot of vintage stuff for guys, mostly from clothing to small motor stuff to sewing machines, everything like that. Anything that's kind of cool or vintagely cool guy stuff, I kind of into a little bit, and I try to give you a little taste of it too. So let's take a look at the jeans. So I'll get wide here just to give you an idea. This is my pair of jeans. Sorry for all the clutter everywhere, but it just has a nice lighting down here. As you can see, they're well worn. I've worn these, got these raw. Here, we'll pull those out. That might look better. Got these raw. You can see they've got really great fades on them. They've probably only had 1 or 2, 3 washes maybe their whole life. They would have been soaked first. When I first got them, I would have done a cold soak on them just to get some of the starch out and some of the indigo, just so I can sit in a white area without having blue everywhere. As you can see, they have the classic arches on the back, and again, if you notice, this is made with a double needle machine and not a single needle machine like the 44s, which are actually painted. But I think the 47s, I don't remember if those were double needle or single needle, but they went with that. As you can see, it's a dual stitch. One's orange and one is the yellow. These are, again, riveted. As you can see, the rivets poking out there, or actually really poking out there. So it has the hidden rivets, and it's also been bar tacked at the top. has the big E. And is this a double? Let's look here. Is it on both sides on this one, or is it on single? Oh, it is on both sides on this one. So I think the 44s is a single, but it's labeled with Levi's on both sides. This particular pair is not your standard, because this is the 501 55116. And you might come across this. This isn't a leather, it's that fabric patch on it. And you can see, though, it's a 3636 with the big E, and it has some really nice fades. And then with the roll, pull that up. So it has, this is actually a double roll. So that's kind of how I wear them with a 36. You get a nice double roll. It's got the red selvage, which shows really nice. And it hasn't really worn away that bad on the roll, which is actually kind of nice. You can see previous rolls here as, depending how I've worn them over the years, you can actually see the lines of that. And there's part of the double roll like that. But it's got pretty good honeycombs, not crazy like some of the guys. But again, this is the 1955 pair, so you're not going to get the crazy honeycombs unless you buy a pair that's like 2 or 3 sizes too small for you. And that's because when you wear them so tight, then you're really going to get all the creases and everything in it. But the 55s were a very boxy pair of jeans. They were, as Levi's called it, the anti-fit, because it was boxy, it was looser in the thigh, it was looser in the seat. Everything was just bigger on it. It wasn't bell bottoms, but it was just a wider, looser, more comfortable overall pair of jeans. They're very comfortable because they're more like pants than jeans. They're just kind of wide everywhere, and they're just nice that way. Nice big pockets, and that's something too. It's like they don't really talk about, but like the 47s and even the 44s, the pockets are a little tight to get into, but the 55s, you could get right into those pockets fine. There was plenty of room, just probably because they were just boxy. Button fly, like all 501s. Let's take a look at the tag now. So here we are, unbuttoned. They have the V-stitch here, as you can see. That's pretty standard. What the V-stitch is when you're putting the waistband on, it's a one needle operation that goes through the machine this way. And that's usually a chain stitch. So the difference between a chain stitch and a straight stitch, you can actually really see here. This is a chain stitch and this is a straight stitch. Chain stitch, the reason your jeans actually have chain stitching, they have it here on the back yoke, and they also have it in the leg area, is chain stitching is a totally different style of stitch than a straight stitch. And you've probably seen this, like if you ever had a bag of rice or a bag of anything and they had that stitching that you could pull. This is the same thing basically. And what that does is it gives you stretch. It actually, this is just holds the material together. This holds it together, but also as the fabric stretches, the chain stretches too a little bit. So when you're bending and that sort of thing, it actually stretches with you. And it's the same with the waistband. So at the bottom, they do that. The top, they don't have to, because the top really doesn't stretch. It's this part of the jean, like if you're bending down or you're breathing, anything like that, where you get a stretch. Anyway, that's a chain stitch, just for your knowledge. But anyway, so if you look here, so they put the chain stitch on, and then they fold in these little pieces here, and then you go over the top, and when it comes down, if you notice, it comes down. This is the straight stitch here. It comes down, but then comes up. And basically what happens then is they put the button on, the top button, and it kind of holds the stitch. This one really doesn't, but theoretically it would actually hold the stitch so it wouldn't ever come unraveled. But it was just an extra piece of strength they used to do on denim. They don't do this anymore, just the vintage jeans they do that. But here you can see the hidden rivets. They're hidden because you don't see them on the back. And the reason you don't see them on the back is back in the 33s and that sort of thing, the rivets actually came all the way through just like they would here. And Levi's was getting complaints from mothers and wives of their working husbands scratching up the furniture with all these rivets sticking out. So they came up with the idea, and that, of course, I don't know if that's real or if that's just, urban legend of where that came from, but that's where the theoretical hidden rivet came from, to keep people from scratching up furniture. And it really does make sense, because if you actually do wear a pair of 33s or even before that, you can. I've sat on wood chairs and I've heard that of it making that noise. So it's got the hidden rivets. And then if you look, as we look at all early jeans, if you look at the top button, it should have a number on it. But I'm not seeing this. Normally it would have like a 555, which would signify Valencia in San Francisco. I don't think this particular pair is that, but it is the earlier Levi's, and you can see because it doesn't have, they didn't stamp the pocket bags like they do today. The reason they do that today is because people have been buying these vintage jeans and they wear them like this or worse, and you can't tell the difference between an original and a reproduction because they were made so well back in the day. So they started stamping the saddlebags too, because you can come in here and take it off the tags and everything like that. But so here's the tag for this particular one. This is not a super early LVC. This is probably from the mid 2000s maybe, but let's take a look here. That's your normal one. Here's your sizes here. It is made in the US, but it's not a 555. But there you can see it's the 501 55s. It might be from 2016, which I'm a little surprised that's so new. But no. It's from, I don't know if the S is for summer or spring, but it's from 2006. There we go. It's from 2006. That's when I got these. My other pairs were LVC from the 555s, but this particular pair is not. But it is from 2006, so it's almost 20 years old. It's, 17 years old. And then I had a thing in my pocket that actually showed through. Another thing to look for when you're looking at these is they'll have salvage inside here on the coin or the watch pocket. Well, I hope that kind of gives you an overall of what the 55s were. They're real similar to the other jeans. They're just wider all over, kind of. They're just a boxier cut, I guess you could say, than a 47, which is more of like probably what you're used to, because today's jeans, or they were up to a couple of years ago, that classic cut of the 47 LVC on your 501s. They just raised and lowered the waist a little bit to fit the decade. But the 55s, they're a little high on the waist, just like a standard vintage jean. They're just a little bit wider, a little looser. If you're a type of guy that likes a pair of jeans that isn't overall tight, easy to get up and down, it's not uncomfortable, the 55s might be a great choice for you. Now the legs will be a little wider, so you will have a little bit of that, I won't say it sails as you walk, but you will have a little bit of that. Now depending on your body type too. Maybe if you have if you're a really weighty guy with some thick legs, maybe the 55s might be good for you. If you're like me, I'm a little leaner, at least on the legs and that sort of thing, the 47 a little better. Currently with my 44s, which is kind of an in-between of both of those, I'm not having any issues with that. And I'll show you a picture too of kind of just fade wise. I'll show you the 44s I'm currently wearing, which I picked these up this around Christmas time, I guess, when Levi's was having a sale on those. And so they have, I don't know, 3 months of wear or so like that, with a one soak and never been washed, and you can kind of see how they will fade. I believe these came originally like a 12-ounce denim, and again, depending when you buy these and where you bought them, from what time period from LVC, I'm sure there's differences in that, because obviously these would be cone denim, from 2006, where today maybe today you can get cone denim again, but there'll be a period where it won't be cone denim, it'll be a Japanese denim. So just keep that in mind. Not that it's a huge difference, I don't think. I think the Japanese have really made pretty similar stuff than what cone could do. But again, it's not cone, so you kind of, if you want to, for me, if I was going to get Levi's, I'd want cone. If I was going to get a pair of cool Japanese jeans, I want Japanese. Why not, you know? So anyway, so this is the LVC 1955s. Let me show you a picture now of the before, not the before and after, but a newer pair and an older pair like this, kind of how the fades, and you can really see how a pair of jeans really kind of become their own thing, and why guys just love a vintage pair of jeans, and girls too. Why everybody loves a pair of jeans, and why they get really upset if anything happens to them, because they love them. Thanks for watching. This is Derek Does. If you like this content, again, please subscribe, like, comment, let me know. If you know of some good deals on some 55s, let me know. I'm probably going to get 47s. More than 55s, just for the prices now, because I kind of need a 47, just because I like the 47s, at least that cut. And anyway, enough of that. I'm going to show you this, and then I'll see you on the next one. All right, so I'm just down in my basement, but I'll show you, this is me. These are my 44s. And you saw the video on those, and they're kind of breaking in pretty nicely now. These are the 55s. You can see they're just too big for me now. But I'll show you that. You can really see how they're gonna fade. It's just everything as denim does. Basically, it's probably the same denim to begin with, when at least the look-wise, the colors and everything like that, just how they fade and everything like that. So just something to look forward to when you get your first pair of jeans. If you've never had a pair of salvage jeans, something to look forward to is something like this.